deliver as well. I mean,
another great fight with two talented girls.
We have Ariana Melendez out of Fusion Excel, number 2 from Fusion Excel tonight, from all the way from Florida, versus Danielle Hindley, who, I mean, is no stranger to the Cage Titans cage. I believe she has the fastest submission in Cage Titans history as an amateur, fastest submission in Cage Titans history as a pro in the 115-pound women's division.
All right. Make some noise one more time for that amazing bout.
We're going to go to the boss man.
Well, I'm not sure if any of you guys know,
but we are happy that you're watching at home, and Ariana did say, please give her a shout out, so there it is. She has,
gotta shout out your girl.
She has UFC fighter Hannah Goldie in her corner, who has mentioned you by name previously. I think you guys met over at Lausanne's yesterday.
We did a shakeout with Ariana yesterday at Lausanne's. I hung out with Hannah a little bit, so it's nice. It's a cool MMA community. You're always meeting people, and Hannah's, you know, in the UFC in my weight class, so it's always good to see and talk to those chicks.
Absolutely, absolutely. She has Bruno and then also Julian Williams in her corner. You know, and she's been training for about 5 or 6 years. She's 1-1, and she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. Prefers to strike, according to her, but she doesn't really mind wherever the fight goes.
Now that blue belt could be measured in a lot of different ways because she comes out of a place where I believe Jacare has come out of as well as at one point. So their jiu-jitsu is very good.
I mean, Jacare,
so just being a blue belt doesn't mean that she's a novice in any regard because of the level of training partners she has when she's on the mats there. So,
like you said, Jacare by name. There's also Rodolfo Vieira. I mean, he's a pretty good black belt himself.
100%.
A grappling black belt champion multiple times, and now a very successful UFC fighter in his own right. So
Fusion XL brings people that are very well-rounded. They know what they're doing down there, you know?
Always. This will be a good fight. I mean, we know Danielle Hindley likes to grapple, so I'm curious to see how Ariana's game plan will be against someone like her.
Absolutely. She's just so, Danielle Hindley's just so good in these strange and peculiar positions where she just ties you up and you don't know what happened or why it happened.
She has an answer for all the weird spots. It's like they're automatic too.
Those scrambles, she always ends up like all of a sudden you're tied up in a pretzel.
And she creates her own submissions. She just does whatever she wants.
We knew this place would go loud for South Shore Sports Fighting. Always brings a crowd.
Very quiet, very reserved lady. She knows what she's here to do, and she gets done. And she's not, not super outspoken, but her fighting does the talking for sure. You know what I mean? She comes in there, she handles her business. It's not like she stays in there long. She gets the finish right away as soon as she can.
I appreciate her honesty. I reached out, tried to get like an interview with her leading up to the fight. She's like, honestly, I would. I'm not like dissing you. I just wouldn't be very interesting. I wouldn't have much to say. And I'm like, Danielle, I think you're pretty interesting.
She's honest.
She's like, I just don't interview well. I wouldn't give you a good one. I was like, thank you, but
media's not for everybody, baby. That doesn't mean, but that's not the skill that matters. The skill that matters is how you translate it in here. And she absolutely 100%. And you know what? To be not for nothing, but a million interviews during a fight camp takes away from the focus of the camp itself.
Without a doubt.
She's with that. Maybe she doesn't have the skill on the mic, but because that isn't there, she can focus entirely on what she's doing, which makes her even more deadly in the cage.
I agree.
No, without a doubt. And I did get to catch up with her teammate to ask her some questions, just to have some information. She is a black belt. She's a submission grappler. She's been training for over 10 years. And she's no stranger to the Cage Titans cage. But tell the tape here, what does stick out to me is Danielle is 12 years older than Ariana. I would not have guessed she was 38
I would have never known that. I did not know that.
Doesn't look a day over 29.
No.
4 inches taller and a 5.5-inch reach advantage. But we're going to go to Andy for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the next fight of the evening. A professional mixed martial arts contest taking place at the strawweight division, scheduled for 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. Introducing to you first, standing in the red corner, holding a professional mixed martial arts record of 1 victory and 1 defeat. She stands 5 feet 2 inches tall, and she weighed in at 114 pounds. From Orlando, Florida, she's representing Fusion XL. Let's hear it for Ariana Kid Diamond Melendez. And now introducing her opponent, standing across from her in the blue corner, holding a professional mixed martial arts record of 4 victories and 2 defeats. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and she weighed in at 115 pounds. From Abington, Massachusetts, she's representing South Shore Sport Fighting. Let's hear it for Danielle, the Dark Horse Hindley. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Brian Miner.
All right, Danielle Hindley in the blue corner, repping the blue top, blue shorts. Ariana Melendez, Kid Diamond Melendez in the red corner, repping the black top with the black and army green shorts. Those are pretty sick
She
shorts.
got the shock mouth.
Those are pretty sick shorts.
I think I wanted to actually say, as Danielle was coming out, was hit her composure in there is second to none. She's very, very loose in there, which a lot of people don't realize that the more anxious you are and the more nervous you are, the more tired you get. She doesn't ever seem to get tired because she's very composed in there.
She does, and she's someone who's kind of hard to train for, because I mean she has a unique style.
Yeah.
She's not all over the place, but she does her own thing. She has her own groove, so you know it's hard to mimic that.
The ref's having a hard time staying out of her way. You see that little quick shuffle he had to do? She a lot of movement out of her.
Hands are low today, which is interesting because she's usually got a pretty good guard.
Yeah.
She's got to be careful with those, though. If she's going to throw kicks, she's going to have to throw stuff in front of her, get the hands occupied. That way she doesn't get countered like that over the top.
I noticed that Danielle likes to start a lot of fights with kicks. I think that that's her way of engaging her grappling. Whether she throws a kick, she thinks one's going to be returned, or that they're going to grab it and she can get close. So obviously Ariana's doing a good job of defending that.
Which I think is a super interesting tactic, especially for somebody that's a grappler that wants to close the distance. Using your kicks, kick range is much longer than punch range. A lot of people use their punches to get into that. But like you said, Hillary, she uses the kicks right now. Like I said,
Yeah, to get
engages the
close.
clinch. She wants her opponent to grab the kick so that she can engage right here.
And it's a good way to set it up. I mean, it's smart, and I notice it in most of her fights. She does that. Most people want to either return with a kick and she can grab it, or they'll grab hers.
Yep, perfect. And I get it. It's so weird. Oh, there it is, going for the
Nose guard, looking for an arm lock.
Nice defense. by
Inverting
Ariana.
real quick, just super comfortable off her back.
Ariana knows.
Smart to let her up here.
Not an unwise decision for sure, especially first round. First round, Danielle's definitely going to get you with those.
Yeah,
slick
there's
submissions.
not sweat yet. You can't slip out of things that you might have not been able to previously.
Melendez has landed a couple of those overhands over the top here. She's being very, very reserved, which is a good idea. She doesn't want to extend here. That's what Danielle wants. If you start to over-commit to stuff, she's going to take you down, get you on the ground, and that's where her world is.
Definitely.
She's doing a great job being measured here.
She's throwing a lot of head kicks this fight, and I'm surprised with that. I haven't seen her throw too many head kicks in fights, so it's nice to see that she's been adding some other things to her toolbox.
Good feints here.
Nice little entry there.
It's an odd one. Only a little half a Superman punch we got there going. Like you said earlier, again, she puts that foot out there almost to be caught so that she can be brought in.
She does.
It's a weird type of like goading into your.
Yeah, it's
your
not what
opponent.
most people normally
Exactly. It's an interesting tactic, and when you see her trying to do it, you're like, wow, this is interesting, and it works.
do. It definitely works. She knows exactly what she wants to do, and she can pull guard. If you have her up against the cage, you know she's going to wrap her legs around you.
And she active guard, not just a full
So
guard.
active.
As soon as she hits the ground, she's going for something. It doesn't matter. She's
She
setting
climbs
something
those
up.
legs so fast.
And it's very clear that Ariana respects the grappling. She's not
100%.
looking to get inside and engage in that realm whatsoever. She wants to just, maintain distance, enter and get out.
50 minutes is a long time. She can pick her spots here. It's not a 3-minute round like we're used to so far tonight. She can take her time, pick her spots, score where she needs. Right now, I'd say the fight's about even. That Danielle hasn't done anything, super spectacular, and Melendez has been chipping away at stuff. Just really slowly, tiny shots that are landed. She's scoring.
She's doing a good job of the in and out, of not getting caught up in Danielle wanting to grab her, throwing a few strikes, get out of range.
Yep. Never
She's
overextended.
Not getting overzealous and forcing the situation. She's taking the low-hanging fruit and getting away.
If I was Danielle here, see, that's what I'd want right there. She's the long shots, those
So
teep kicks, jabs, long straight punches, especially on the end of it, because she's thrown a couple of head kicks up there, and they've landed. But
Nice
the
left.
shorter this distance gets, as far as the striking goes.
Here we go, though.
There we go.
This is when it starts getting into Danielle's world.
There we go. It's like I said, right to it. She is not playing around. She's not trying to buy time. She's setting something up as soon as she gets to the ground.
And she knew that eventually Ariana would maybe extend too far, and now she took advantage. So she's definitely playing a smart game here.
For sure. Watch those leg locks, foothold coming up here.
It's definitely harder with gloves on.
Yep, for sure. Going forward here, but watch out. She got the leg lock coming up her arm back. She's still slick. She can transfer to something else.
Good job, Ariana, getting on top, but she's got to still be careful here. Yep. Danielle is comfortable on her back.
Very good at inverting, especially in these positions. Again, transfer. She doesn't stay anywhere too long. Oop, got the guillotine.
She's won a fight by guillotine before.
Oh, that would be something special to watch Danielle get guillotined. Not that I would revel in that, but it takes a lot of skill for somebody like that.
For sure, and we've seen Danielle get choked out in the Cage Titans cage before. So I mean, she is susceptible to submissions too.
Absolutely.
Definitely a good round here.
For sure. Hard to score. Not sure who won. Not sure who really went with her that one. Takedown might have had the difference, but again, Melendez had good strikes. She was landing a lot more of the significant strikes.
Like you said, Hillary, that overhand right was finding a home often.
100 times. About 4 or 5 times she landed that pretty clean. And at the end, again, while we were talking, she was pushing the pressure there. She was. She really backed Danielle against the cage through 4 or 5 punch shots. What I really like from her, which a lot of people won't see, especially in like younger pros or maybe younger fighters, they get, like I said, overzealous, and they'll go that until they close the distance.
Right.
Melendez did a great job of backing up after 4 strike, taking a step back and then coming back and re-entering, which is I think is a great idea for her because she obviously doesn't want to engage in a grappling competition with Danielle. It's a good strategy.
Yep.
I agree. Great strategy. She had a really good first round there. She has now felt what Danielle feels like and what she wants to do. So
is Hannah Goldie wearing wrestling shoes?
Yeah.
She's just wearing them into the cage, just in case.
She's wearing them in the back too.
It's good. You got to get some doubles in.
Mess around, find out. You know what I mean?
Hannah is ready.
She's ready.
I'm not seeing her at the after party. I'm all set.
She'll be there, I bet.
I'm all set.
I have trained down to Fusion XL before, and there was like 2 people available for the next round, and it was her and like some massive man, and I literally was like, I'm going with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to make eye contact with Hannah.
I
looked down, walked by her, said, you want to go?
You got to look up at the ceiling real quick. I'm like,
I didn't see you on my walk by. So.
Yeah, sorry, Hannah. Must have missed you. I don't know.
I'll just tell her I ducked her. Here we go.
I did not want that smoke, as the kids say.
Good work. Like to see Melendez maybe tuck her chin a little bit. Very chinny here.
She's starting to faint now. I wonder if
Hooks
they
coming
did pick up on the same thing you guys picked up on in the corner and said feints are going to be your key.
I'd like to see Danielle's hands a little bit higher because Ariana is landing those strikes every time.
And she's not shooting.
Yeah.
She's not shooting, so there's no reason to keep your hands down like that. And you know what? Even if she does, Danielle, you know you have the advantage down there.
She already knows.
Invite it in, you know what I mean? So keep your hands up because that overhand is there. It's been landing. That overhand and her lead hook has been landing pretty well so far.
I think that she's probably comfortable with her range, but
here it is, pulls the guard. Here we go.
Underestimating Ariana Melendez's speed to close the distance and get in and land.
Got to be careful with the tripod here with someone like Danielle. You know, when they can climb their legs that high. I'm always careful of that when someone's got a good arm.
The guard pull is so interesting in MMA because that's counted as a takedown for the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, they weren't active in that. Like you wanted that to happen. But again, it's like taking a really, really weird risk. Yes, you might be really good in your guard and be active, but again, you've given up a takedown by making that decision. So you're already on the handicap as you get down there. You got to get to work as soon as that happens.
Yeah, because she's on top position, and regardless of you know how active she is off her back, for the judges, you know, Ariana's still on top.
Smart for Ariana to try to put her head against the cage now. It makes it harder to finish submissions off your back when you're pressed against the cage. You can't extend. Your neck's at a weird angle, and it quite frankly, it hurts. It's not comfortable.
Cage is your friend.
Cage is your friend 100% here. And again, I guess a suspicion, get there almost like that can opener that they got without your hands here because you can stack them there. They can't extend their hips. And it could just be a stall position, but again, it's still safe. You know what I mean? Even though she's got her feet in her hips, like
Ariana is safe here.
Yep. All Danielle has right now is to try and soften her up with these little kicks to her kidneys. But at the same time, she can't set anything up. She can't move her hips.
Terrible position. Like you don't want to be in this position when you're on your back against the cage and you have nowhere to go.
Absolutely.
This is tough.
Also right in front of Ariana Melendez, like she couldn't be closer to her corner.
Right.
Which is perfect.
Which is, that there's something to be said when you can take instractions from
She
your
could
coaches.
posture up right now. The more she posture up, the less danger she's going to be in because Danielle's trying to get that on. Exactly. Keep on her. Yep, that's a good idea. Don't give her any opportunity to rest. Chop her legs if you need to till the ref gets you up. You know, you got her against the cage.
Up, hit her right
You're
away.
in a good position. You know, there's no reason to give up that position for no reason. Watch the up kick coming up.
In this position, I mean, Danielle's just sitting on her back. You know, it doesn't look great for her. It looks good for Ariana. Ariana's being more active.
And the ref's going to stand them up here.
Danielle gave her that control time early in the round, so we could be up 3 minutes of control time, but that hook landed for Danielle. That was a good one.
Yeah, she's been throwing a lot of hooks this fight.
Yep.
She's starting to understand her range a little bit more. She's got that long, lanky body.
That's the thing about being a grappler and being tall, is that the striking range is going to be very different for you. It depends on what you're oriented to. So she closes the distance because of her grappling acumen, but if she were to keep her straight punches long,
they'd land.
Do you know what I mean? It'd be a lot easier. You could pick them apart. You know
nice
what I mean?
chop for Ariana Melendez.
There.
See, that's
Ariana's got to be careful.
And she knows she can't drop her, because if she does, she's going to climb up that arm and go for the arm
it's
bar.
dangerous.
Or the arm
bar.
There it is.
There it is. You were right.
But as soon as she got it out, but as soon as she landed, Danielle went up for that triangle. That was a good call.
Good job, Ariana.
That was a good call.
Good job. No, I meant not for me.
No, I mean for you.
I'm the best there is.
Hey, you called it.
I mean, you know, wake up and I piss excellence.
There you go.
That's great stuff. This is what I tell my students all the time. If you're fighting a taller person, you can't stand right in front of them. You got to move a little bit. Even when you strike, move off to the side, because just sitting there, you're just going to get picked apart. You're not going to play the range game for the longer person. Melendez doing a really good job of every time she throws 1-2, she angles off, circles a little bit, and then comes back to position.
I'd like to see Ariana feint a little bit more, because Danielle always reacts, and I think that overhand right will land better if she's feinting now. So I'd like to see her feint, then throw that right, because Danielle's always reacting.
And I know as the shorter guy, if I got a tall guy up, if I can't touch their head, I'm just going to touch their body and their legs to make them. So I would like to see Ariana try and do that. Maybe stop head hunting so much, go for the body, get her stationary, and then start to unload as she gets there. That seems like to be, because as soon as she touches the body, she stays still.
Ariana doing
There it is. Boom. There it is.
Again with the overhand.
Oh, another one. Yeah, nice footwork there. Time. Good work. Good control by
That was just 10
Ariana
seconds.
there.
That was just 10 seconds.
Oh, I thought that was the bell.
So did they. They both stopped. Yep.
Oh, nice. Way to finish strong.
Now that's time. That was confusing.
That was confusing.
I agree.
Someone
hit the bell. Someone hit the bell instead of clapping.
Instead of the clap, yep.
All right.
So, Ariana doing a good job of entering into range, scoring, whether it's just 1, 2, at the end there 3, and getting out.
Yep.
She knows Danielle wants to grapple. 1, 2, hands inside, push away. Like you said, circling, angling,
Much like our
getting away.
heavyweight fight, she knows that she has to move her feet. If she keeps her feet in front of Danielle, Danielle's going to take the takedown at any point. And notice when she pushes her against, she's not really trying to take Danielle down. She knows that her guard is too active for that. She might pressure her and clinch her against the cage, get some points, break off.
Yeah.
But that's gamesmanship. That's absolutely just a smart tech. She's not going to take her against the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me, take her down. And if she does, it's going to be against the cage every time. Open water, Danielle is the worst opportunity for her. So,
and she knows
Ariana's doing a great job
fighting
with her
very
attacking.
smart.
Yep.
And for Danielle, it's sometimes, mentally when you're not able to get the submissions that you're looking for or hope for, it starts to, rain on you. Like, this girl's getting out of all of her submissions.
And she's landing.
Exactly.
She's also landing. Danielle's not as active with her hands in this fight. So, I mean, as she's landing, on top of what Hillary's saying here is that she can't get the sub and she's getting hit.
Yes.
How much does that take a toll on your mental as we go into the third?
Ariana comes out hot, takes the center of the cage again. I almost like center of the stage.
But the thing is, with Danielle, anything can happen. This could be her round.
Without
she could get a sub in any second.
Absolutely. Because she's been setting them up. It's not like she hasn't been trying.
No doubt.
She wants her to come on. She's saying, "Come on."
She wants her to close the distance.
She wants her.
She's tricking her. This is a mind game right
here. This is what's hard.
Yep.
Ariana's being smart. She's not, sucking into that game that Danielle's playing.
If you know you can't go to her in, you're going to have to make something happen. So let's see if Danielle can adapt to that, because Ariana's not going to play into that game. She knows better.
If neither fighters are landing, technically on the scorecard, Ariana's winning here because she has the cage, the center of the cage, octagon control.
Yep.
And now I was going to ask that next. Is like, at what point do we bring octagon control into it?
Well, when they're both just feinting and not actually scoring.
Let's give. Ariana's got more strikes, but on the ground we're talking about more activity from Danielle. How do you score that? You know what I mean? Does it come down to control on the feet and where? You know what I mean? This is where those tiny things matter.
When does criteria 5 come in?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Danielle push a little bit more.
Me
a little
too.
bit push forward with her. Like I said,
She's
long
a little
punches.
Intimidated.
I think exactly what you said is happening right now. She can't at will dominate her on the ground. In fact, she's been in some bad positions at that point. So now maybe she's starting to doubt her ability to get her to the ground. Now she has to depend on her striking, which maybe she hasn't worked on as much for this fight.
Right. We're also seeing Danielle in southpaw a lot this fight. I feel like in her other fight, she's not in southpaw as much. I don't know if she's using that to try
Switching.
to, dictate her range a little bit. That was a
There
good
we go.
right.
There we go. 1-2.
Great right.
Punch and coming, I guess.
But then she's going to keep the pressure.
Great. She's great everywhere. She just has to use her weapons.
She depends on her jiu-jitsu a little bit
Lot
too
of-
much, but her
exact-
strikes are there.
She takes her jiu-jitsu for granted, is what it seems like.
Yes.
She knows she can get a sub against most people. She's using that front leg quite a bit, I've noticed, or those teeps. Those, see what I mean? This little switch. If she would add some hands into that, it would open up her strikes a little bit more.
I agree.
1-2 switch your stance on the 2.
Yep.
That would make a little bit better for her. But if she's doing it naked, it's easy to read. Now I can just cut you off as you go over
Right.
it.
And now Ariana's keeping her. Like you said, the cage control. She's really dictating that.
Waiting
right
for
now.
the counters as she
Yes.
comes in, because Danielle's pot-shotting really well here.
Ooh.
Jab to the body, overhand all day.
Yep.
That overhand right got a deep sigh out of Danielle. She
Jab
didn't like
overhands
that.
all night.
And they're landing for Ariana every single time. And
the-
she's doing a good job not trying to go into Danielle's game. She's keeping the pace.
Patience.
Yeah, patience is key, especially for someone who just turned pro.
Yep.
She's 1-1, so to have that patience is really,
Yeah,
really remarkable.
super good skill, good composure, and you're a veteran yourself, Hindley. You know that panic and emotion and just trying to be frightened is not going to get it there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Her composure here, especially against a good opponent here,
Yeah.
who's very dangerous, is impressive, and that's what's winning her the fight. Is that she's keeping composed, keeping calculated, and picking her shots
Yes.
well.
Like you said, she's
Nice
going to the body
right-handed
now. She went to
again.
the body and then came over with the right.
Feeling it a little bit, you know what I mean? And
Starting
keeping
the
that
feints,
position.
like Hillary said.
She'll take one step out and immediately step right back in. She's
Right.
not giving Danielle an inch to gain any ground here. It's a stalemate, but because of the control,
Yeah.
you know, Melendez as controlling the fight, just picking her apart. It doesn't matter if she's pot shotting; she's landing, so it doesn't
landing.
matter.
It does surprise me that Danielle's not more willing to pressure here a little bit.
Remember, again,
She's
Hillary
intimidated by the
said,
strikes.
if she can't, she knows that if she opens up, right, she knows that she can take it down and get enough sub. But she's put up a couple of attempts now, and it hasn't worked. So now she's not sure if that's
nice.
totally
Ariana
certain,
opening up here.
and that's why she's not pressuring the same way. And that's going to give her the opportunity for these strikes to come in. That hesitation is all you need.
Yeah. And Ariana is landing on the target almost every time. She's
Yep.
seeing and creating the opening.
Yep.
Yeah, if we had live stats here, the accuracy percentage would be quite high.
I would give it like 70%.
Quite high.
She
Definitely.
throws 3 strikes, she's landed 2.
She's landed
you
at
know,
least 2.
At least 2. Like I said, jab to the body, overhand up top. Like I said, the feints even are playing a big part of that. She'll feint low, go high, and lands every time.
Yep. And we're under a minute here now, and Ariana's dictated the pace
I
of
would
this
say,
round.
yep, she's pulled away with this. You don't know. And Danielle just kind of seems confused. She doesn't really know or have an answer for what's
Well,
going on in
she
front of her.
hasn't really met someone that she gets to the ground where she wants them and doesn't finish them.
Yeah. I'd like to see Danielle feint too, because if she feints a takedown, it's going to make Ariana react, because Ariana knows that takedown's coming.
Exactly. She doesn't want to go to the takedown. Force the issue. You know what I mean?
Force the
And
issue.
ooh, nice hook
Hard
at the end there.
strikes here.
Hook, another
Hard
one.
strikes.
Another hook. That lead hook 2. There it is.
12 seconds here.
Might be too little, too late here. Ooh, she's
got her in
going
a
for the
choke.
standing arm
Oh,
triangle
no, she
here.
doesn't have it. She doesn't have it. Can Ariana
That's the back
survive?
here. We got 5 seconds.
I don't think she's got it, but way to try to finish strong.
Excellent fight.
That was a great
fight.
fight.
Good
Ariana
fight.
did a really good
Excellent.
job keeping the pace that whole round.
Again, a lot. The tale of the story of like the night has been reads and adapting to your opponents.
Yep.
You could see that people are starting to struggle. The people that start to struggle first 2 rounds, or maybe a round, not knowing, they'll read their opponent round 2 and 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. They've made the read. They know what they have to do, and that's really great to see, because you see a lot of people just not being able to adapt to stuff.
Great respect from these two
Ariana
warriors
did
here.
great here, knowing that what her opponent was dangerous at, and not breaking her game. I'm not going to the ground with this
Yeah.
woman. I'm not going to give her the opportunity to give her the chance to win. I know where I can win. I'm going to keep it here and do my best to keep my composure. She did exactly that. I think this is a fantastic victory for her.
Yeah, me too.
1-1 going into, you know what I mean, an experienced veteran. That's a good win.
Yeah, Danielle has a lot of experience against some really tough chicks too, and yeah, that was a great fight
Great.
for Ariana.
Fusion
That's
XL's
why
doing well tonight.
Hannah Goldie has the wrestling shoes on.
She had
she
to
could
dump.
pick her up.
She had to dump real quick.
She almost hit a dump on
I'm just
Ariana.
going to say that she's accessorized her shorts to the wrestling shoes.
Yeah, she did.
Which
It looks that way.
is very, very
As
important.
Richie said, well, actually, I believe you were here. The drip never takes a
The drip
backseat.
never takes a backseat. That was Richie Santiago. Quote that. The drip never takes a backseat, and Hannah Goldie is no exception.
That's right.
Fusion XL coming with the drip.
We're just awaiting the official results here.
Good fight for both ladies. No lady should have had their head down.
No,
about
that was a really, really great fight.
battle of game plans. One just worked out a little bit better. The judges have been a little weird tonight. Not that I don't think that their decisions have been apt, but some of the scoring has been quite a little interesting.
And they're both dancing together to celebrate after. You gotta love that.
10-8 rounds in one of them. I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Not quite sure.
Let's love to see it. Let's go. Little Soldier Boy. Let's go. Back in 2005 here. I feel like I'm in 4th grade again. I'm 10 years old.
And we're gonna go to Andy to make it official.
Another great girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for these two. After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. With scores of 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Ariana Kid Diamond Melendez.